Julie, how are you
I'm great today.
today?
How far post-op are you?
Monday will be 4 weeks,
Oh, okay. All right. Wow.
but remember, this is my second one. I'm a
Okay.
veteran,
Okay.
so
All right.
So you-
Second one on a different knee, I assume, right?
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
I had my left knee January 20th, and I had my right knee for what would that be? September 22nd.
Wow. Both in the same year, just months apart. Whew.
I was determined to be a insurance benefit ninja.
Yeah.
yeah, all in
Basically,
one
it was
season.
buy one get one.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it that way. I'm retired. My husband's getting ready to retire, and I wanted to do it while we had the very good insurance.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No, that makes sense. But whew. Well, I'm anxious to hear all about it because you're a tougher man than I am.
Let's talk knees, titanium knees. From hurting to healing to taking the lead. Let's talk knees.
So before we jump into the questions, which one did you have done first?
I had left first, and I just had my right one done. So unfortunately, my doctor's pretty strict about not driving for 6 weeks after your right knee.
Makes
I kind of
sense.
hate that. Yeah.
I didn't drive for 7 weeks after my left knee. So,
Oh.
Definitely didn't drive before because that was just
right.
tough getting in and out.
For recovery with the first knee, then the second knee. I don't know if that's typical.
Did you
That
say it
was
was
my-
it was much tougher on the first knee?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What led you to need your knee replacement? How did you realize that?
The year I turned 50, I re-careered and went to nursing school. And during my nursing clinicals, I knew that my knees were bothering me a lot. And I had a fall at work once after I became an RN. I had a fall at work and I had an x-ray. And that was the first time that anyone said the words bone on bone to me. And that was in 2016. I was a psych nurse for a while, which is a lot of standing and walking. But standing and walking didn't really bother me. I could stand and walk for hours, but it was sitting and getting up from a sitting position that was very difficult for me. After COVID, I transitioned out of being a psych nurse and became a hospice nurse. And when you're a hospice nurse and you go to people's homes and you have to sit, and you have to talk and you have to visit with your patients and you have to sit on the furniture that they have in their homes. And when you're going and you're seeing these little 80 and 90-year-old grannies, you're sitting on granny couches.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what granny couches are?
Mm-hmm.
They're very low.
Yeah.
And so it became, I would have to explain my situation with my knees to my patient and their families and say, I'm going to have to crawl off this couch and it's going to look a little awkward, but it's not about me. So just, but that just, it became too much for me to do.
Uh-huh.
So I retired early. I made a deal with my knees. Please get me to 60 and then I'll take care of you, knees. So I retired at 61. And immediately after I retired, we bought a 1-level house. I said, okay, I now have time to do this. I have time to recover. So I went to see the local orthopedic practice that's local to me. And I met with this impossibly young, very smart surgeon. And they took x-rays and he showed me the x-rays and he laid the photograph of a normal knee down. And then he laid the x-rays of my knees down. And I swore. And then I burst into tears. And I knew that shots weren't going to do this.
Right.
This was surgical. I said, I have to have them done. He's like, yeah, you have to have them done. So that was in October, about a year ago. And as soon as they could get me scheduled was January 20th. He said, your left knee is slightly worse than your right knee. So we're going to do that one first. That's what brought me to knee replacement.
So you had your first knee done 10 days before I had my knee done. So I want to know, how is your first knee doing?
My first knee is doing quite well. I do still have pain in that knee, though, occasionally. But mostly I think it's because it's having to take over for the right knee now,
Yeah.
whereas before the right knee was taking over for the left. I have all of my range of motion that they want you to have. I still have a little bit of swelling and I still have a little bit of numbness.
Yeah.
The outer aspect of my knee, just lateral to my patella, is
Right.
still numb.
Yeah. Same.
But it's only, the swelling's only at the knee. It's no more swelling in any other part of that leg.
And what about tightness? Does that knee still feel tight?
It does not.
Really?
No.
Did it ever?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm still waiting for the tightness to go away.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's not stiff. I can bend it. I've got full range of motion. It's just
Right.
tight. Hate it.
No, it feels, except for, the noises that our knees make now with parts
Yeah.
in them. Other than that, it feels like a normal knee. It's
Okay.
just a little bit of pain and a little bit of numbness still.
Good. But you said that recovery was the hardest?
Oh, yes. I think that was pretty much a textbook recovery.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 4 weeks were just agony,
Yeah.
pain. And I did something smart. I'm a nurse, so I know how to do these things. I scheduled my pain meds. As soon as I got home, I figured out, okay, I'm going to take this, then this, then this, then this. I'm going to have it covered. I'm not going to chase the pain. I'm going to let the pain try to chase me. So I was real smart about that, but I was on my pain meds for probably 4 weeks. I was on narcotics longer than my doctor wanted me to be on narcotics, but they were okay with giving me enough narcotics to get me to where I needed to be.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
So
You're at 4 weeks with your second knee. Would you have been able to sit and do an interview like this at 4 weeks with your first knee? No. So definitely two different recoveries. Same surgeon, same procedure.
same everything. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly the same everything.
Yeah. It's amazing how they can be so different,
Yeah.
even though everything else is the same.
Yeah, I looked it up because I kept records of what I took when. I took my last narcotic. I took my last oxycodone on October 8th.
No, near the time for the first one. So did you come home same day on both of them?
Yeah, I went to surgical center, so it was outpatient surgery. So, they will you to recovery as soon as you're awake. They get you dressed. I had a knee stabilizer both times because I had a nerve block. So my surgeon requires you to wear a knee stabilizer on your operative leg until the nerve block. When you're walking and up, you don't have to have it on when you're sitting or lying. But so they get you dressed. They put the knee stabilizer on. They put the walker in front of you, and they say, "Okay, let's go do some stairs."
Get you out of here. And that was the same for both of them, pretty much. So just repeating exactly what you'd done before. Okay.
And that's the procedure there. That's just how they do it. If you have complications, they're calling 911 and taking you to the hospital because they're not a medical hospital. They don't do complications.
Did you find any difference in those first few hours after surgery, between surgeries? Like, did you wake up in pain in one and not the other, or were they the same?
The first week was exactly the same.
Okay.
The first week was terrible with my first surgery.
Yeah.
It just seemed like I turned a corner a lot faster. Like by day 10,
Cool.
I had pretty much turned a corner. I think 13 days, and I have a cane because I used a cane last time. I didn't even use the cane. I just went from the walker to walking
on this second surgery.
The second knee.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice. That's awesome.
I think there are two things that I think are very different. One is I don't have to manage my expectations this time.
Mm-hmm.
I know what's going to happen. I kind of know what the normal thing is. And two, when I had my first knee done, I didn't have a stable knee on the other side to take over the slack. I had essentially no stable knees right after that. And this time I had a titanium knee on the left side that could do the hard work while the right knee was, starting to heal.
Right.
And I really, for me, now every experience is individual, but I think for me that made a big difference.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, and I can see that because I know I worried a lot about my right knee because my right knee really hasn't been a problem for me. You know, it really doesn't give me any grief, but I really worried about it after surgery because I could tell how much I was relying on that knee because it took me a long time to gain confidence in my surgical knee. Did you
Yeah.
struggle with that? Did you struggle with feeling confident that you could stand on it and use
Yes.
it? Yeah.
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 But now, yesterday I went on a ride with my husband and did some errands, and I got tired. I'm still at the point where things like that make me very tired, and I have a little bit more swelling because I'm here. I'm back here in this room sitting on a recliner looking at the deer and the turkeys, and when I'm sitting in a car, I'm going to get some swelling. So I had a little bit more swelling yesterday.
But does it recover quickly? I mean, once you elevate it and ice it, does it get better quickly?
I actually stopped using my ice sleeve because it was starting to annoy me. So
Yeah.
if I have to grab an ice pack from the freezer, I will. But I use my ice sleeve religiously for the first week, like around the clock.
So what kind of surgery did you have on these? A robotic assisted?
No.
Nope. No
Nope.
robots. Quadriceps sparing. Just
I don't
straightforward.
think so. I don't know 100%, but it wasn't mentioned, so I'm assuming not.
Gotcha.
Excellent.
Okay.
And were you closed up with glue or staples on those?
Glue.
Awesome.
And I have, interestingly enough, I have a collagen dressing this time. The practice called me up and they said, "Oh, we have this lovely collagen dressing that you can put on your knee, and it's supposed to help with healing and da 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 da." And I said, "How much?"
Right.
And they said, "Well, if your insurance covers it, nothing. And if your insurance doesn't cover it, it's $4,000." And I said, "Does it $4,000 worth of,
Right.
And that, they said, "Well, we'll let you know if your insurance covers it, and then you can make a final decision." So they called me back later. The nurse navigator called me back and she said, "Good news, your insurance is going to cover it completely." I said, "Okay, I'll do it." Well, what happened was when I went in for my 2-week checkup to have the PA take my bandage off and look at my incision for the first time, the original bandage. She put all these steri strips on it, and it's almost completely covered with steri strips.
Oh.
So I'm putting this $4,000 collagen bandage on over steri strips.
Over steri strips.
It's not really doing anything.
Well,
but I'm doing.
How long do the steri strips have to stay on?
Normally, the medical wisdom is you keep them on until they fall off, but mine's not going to fall off because it's covered with a bandage.
Stand by.
I would have to scrub in a shower or something, but I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll see. I can't really give a thumbs up or thumbs down on the collagen bandage. I'm just saying if anyone has to pay for it.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Make sure you've actually got some wound there to put the collagen on.
Yeah, it seems ridiculous that they would even offer it,
right.
especially with the, knowing that the steri strips are there. So
it's kind of like wearing long sleeves and putting sunscreen on over the top of it.
Thank you. That's a great analogy.
Yeah. So,
when I see the surgeon, I might use that analogy.
That's crazy. So first week was very much the same. I'm assuming very heavily medicated. Husband was your caregiver through that?
When it's my caregiver, we're fortunate that he works from home. So he was able to, take very good care of me. He took the day of surgery off, and then his home office is right there. So he was able to work and peek in on me and drive me to my appointments when I needed to go to appointments and things like that. So I can't imagine anyone doing this without benefit of a person at home.
I don't know. I don't know how they do it, and yet they do. I just heard from a woman this morning that's doing it all on her own, 64 years old, all by herself. Wow. I just, my heart goes out to them.
Well, my surgical practice pretty much makes you sign in part of the consent. It says, "I will have someone with me the first 24 hours." and I will have someone in my house the first 72 hours. I mean,
Cool.
you know,
Cool.
so
Yeah.
When did you start PT after? Let's talk the first one and this last one. How soon after surgery did you start your PT?
my practice is interesting. They give you all of the home PT, but you don't do outpatient PT until 5 or 6 weeks. I'm
Wow.
starting PT this next week.
Wow. But you're still
Good.
doing home PT?
As in, well, there's no PT coming to my home. No,
Oh.
it's just here are the exercises, do them at home.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's a regional difference or because I talked to people who've had an actual PT come to their house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's not offered where I live. So
It wasn't offered for me either where I live.
yeah.
But they wanted me to start PT, going out for PT right away. So that's crazy. But you've been doing all the exercises at home and
Yeah.
you've noticed a difference then in or improvements in your range of motion since surgery.
Oh, drastically. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm not at 0. I'm close to 0. I know they're going to give me a speech about not being at 0, but
Oh well.
it'll come.
Right. Oh yeah, it'll happen.
You got to have something to make progress on.
Yeah.
Choose that.
Nobody's perfect.
So did the pain meds work for you that first week, or were you in a lot of pain? And how about the sleep also for the first week on those?
I'm a terrible sleeper. And actually
Join
a
the
little
club.
having a little bit of oxycodone actually helped me sleep those first few nights because I would take one at bedtime and conk out for at least a few hours. But so story of my life is sleep is terrible. And that's just, that's something I got to work on separate from having surgery. The pain meds did work quite well. I got oxycodone and tramadol and Celebrex. And I have a few more days of Celebrex left. And then I'm finished with the tramadol and the oxycodone, but I kind of scheduled them. I figured out when would I like to be a little bit more lucid and is it okay for me to be knocked out? And after the first couple of days, it's like, when is the pain the worst? I want to make sure I, hit the oxycodone before that part of my day. So I think, as anyone who's had this surgery knows, it's going to hurt. You're never going to be at 0.
Yeah, for sure.
Not for me anyway, never at 0.
No.
I'm at like about a 0.5 right now, but
Yeah.
In the first 2 weeks, you're never going to be at 0. My surgeon, both times made the same joke. He's like, you're going to hate me so hard for the first 2 weeks.
Did you have your second one scheduled when you did your first one, or was it a let's wait and see how you do? Okay.
No, we did a wait and see. I had a feeling I wanted to have it done in the same calendar year because of the insurance issue. And so it was just like, I wanted to wait until my left knee felt good enough that I knew that it could compensate for those first few weeks. And, we had travel and I did kind of a dumb thing. When my left knee was 16 weeks old, we went to Europe.
Oh, wow.
But we had that trip scheduled for 2 years.
Ooh.
And it was paid for.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
but I did it. I did in Barcelona on the second day of our trip. I did 14,000 steps.
Oh my gosh.
A brand new knee. And lived to tell the tale.
And what?
Don't look at
16 weeks? Is that what you said?
16 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't even
Don't-
imagine that.
Nobody needs to be that hero. Don't do that.
Right? Too much.
Plan your knee around your vacation. Yeah.
That's
After
not
the vacation. Yeah.
a flex. That's a confession that I did that.
Was there a time other than after 14,000 steps, after your first knee, where you just thought to yourself, there's no way I can do my other knee? I won't do this again. Or were you always like, I'm going to power through?
For the first, I would say, 5 months, I was like, absolutely at the beginning, I said, I have ruined my life. I have ruined my life. I think everybody those first couple of weeks thinks, what have I done?
Yeah.
I regret this. And then as, the pain started going away and the swelling went down and the bruises faded and I was able to function and I was able to do that day in Barcelona. I thought, okay, this didn't ruin my life.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the other one. We're gonna do the other one. So now, looking at it now, having done the second one and seeing how much more I can do, now that I have 2 functional knees, because I did not have functional knees before.
Right.
If you see X-rays, you would gasp that they weren't functional at all. I'm really glad I did both. I really am.
Good.
I was able to get out on my patio and get on and off a patio chair last week. I haven't been able to do that since we lived in this house.
Yeah.
I have a gorgeous patio. Our backyard looks over a nature preserve, and I haven't been able to use my patio. And we've lived here a year.
Wow.
And I was able to, and it was life-changing, that moment. I mean,
Yeah.
I burst into tears. It was a very
Yeah.
emotional moment to
Yeah.
know that now that I have 2 functioning knees, there are things I can do that I couldn't do before.
So now you realize you didn't ruin your life, you changed your life.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And I think most life changes start to feel like ruination at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's true.
Was there ever the opportunity or the option, I guess I should say, to do both of the knees at the same time, or did your surgeon just not want to do that?
My surgeon doesn't do that. He
Okay.
said only like a handful of cases, and it has very specific parameters for that. He didn't tell me what those were, but that I didn't meet them.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when, I've heard from some people that they had both done at the same time simply because they wanted to get it over, get it done with. And so it surprises me that there are some surgeons that are just like, yeah, fine, I'll do them both at the same time. And then thankfully there are surgeons that say, no, that's not a real good idea.
Well, a good friend of ours had his done at the same time, but he is a farmer. And he had it done right after Christmas so that, by springtime, when
Wow.
he's got to call off a tractor,
All right.
he could do it.
Yeah.
And he needed both knees done. So he just had them both done at the same time. And I just thought that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
But for him, a lot of sense. And his surgeon was fine with it. So
Yeah. I just think back to how little I trusted that new knee. I had such a hard time, gaining confidence in it. And I think a lot of it was being worried that if I put weight on it, it's going to hurt like it always has, and then I was always just so afraid that it would give out or whatever. And so, I can't imagine having both knees done at the same time. It's like, well, then what leg do I stand on?
well, yeah, I watched somebody on YouTube who had both knees done at the same time and who's younger than me. And I listened to her talk about her recovery and I just think, oh, that sounds sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it would be nice in terms of recovery, but I don't know.
Yeah. The one and done part of it, or two and done, I guess, would be nice just to have it all over with. But I'm just hopeful that my right knee just, doesn't ever give me a problem. I've never had the problems with my right knee that I did with my left. So I'm hoping it was just a one-sided thing and I'm not going to have to ever even think about doing it again because I don't want to.
Now, was yours as a result of arthritis or injury?
Yeah.
Okay.
Arthritis.
My surgeon thinks that my situation with my knees, because of how bad they were, was probably congenital. I probably have had some issue with my knees my whole life. Just didn't.
Interesting.
They didn't wear out until I was, in my 50s. So
Interesting.
yeah. So I'm letting my kids know. Get your
Sorry.
knees okay.
Yeah.
Start planning your vacation and your knee replacements, not at the same time.
Get your knees x-rayed.
Right.
Yeah.
So you knew what to expect on the second one. How prepared do you think you were, especially those first couple of weeks after the first one? Did your doctor? Well, he told you were going to hate him for a couple of weeks, but were you prepared for the emotional and the mental?
Well, I mean, I prepared as good as a person can,
Right.
and I am a nurse, So I know what when I read something, I know what things, people's experiences, what kind of makes sense and what kind of doesn't. And I knew that this is a major surgery, and I knew that the kind of emotional upheaval that happens after any major surgery. And then the first time I just burst into tears over nothing, I was a little surprised. I mean, I prepared myself as best I could, but
Sure.
unexpected things still happen.
Right. Do you feel like being a nurse gave you a leg up, if pun
Knee
intended,
joke,
but
knee joke.
No. I mean, it did in terms of being able to, I read my surgical notes, and I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But some people don't read their surgical notes. I did. I thought it was kind of fun, but I mean, I hurt just like any other person hurts. So no.
Yeah.
Just in terms of maybe being able to find and suss out information, but not in
Right.
terms of recovery. No.
Right. Well, yeah. No, and that's what I meant. Just, and like you said, scheduling your medication. I know that was something that helped you. And we did that. We had a little timesheet that
I made a spreadsheet.
D. He made a spreadsheet. And,
that's what I do.
Kept track of everything, which was really good because I couldn't remember what I'd taken. And that's the thing with people that do it on their own. I'm like, how do they even remember their medication if they don't write it down? And then, there might be times you take it and forget to write it down. It's
Just need to get one of those automatic pet feeders that drops a coding out once in a while, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it must be time.
just spit an oxycodone out. It must be time for my pain meds.
Yeah, my husband was in charge of writing them down the first few days, both times, because I was.
So, maybe too personal a question. Who does the cooking in your house? Because I know he was doing it while you were, especially the first couple of weeks. Does he normally cook?
I do in the house,
Okay.
and I started about 3 weeks before, and meal prepped and froze things and did all of that for him. So the first 2 weeks, he
Nice.
had to think about the food.
Nice.
And after the first 2 weeks, I was able to, just talk him through some things. Okay, well, let's have this, and this is how you do it. And I was, awake and alert enough and in a good enough mood to be able to explain how. But now it's all back on me,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I'm back to doing it.
At 4 weeks, I'm
Right, that's
impressed.
great.
I'm impressed and jealous because, boy, I was not there at 4 weeks for sure.
I mean, it's a matter of I cook dinner and then I go sit for 2 hours and recover
Well,
from
sure.
doing it.
Sure.
I'm not back to full strength, but if I pace myself, I can do a couple loads of laundry in the morning and still be able to cook dinner at night.
Yeah.
At 4
Yeah.
weeks. Cool.
Well, that's great. That's great. It sounds like you're doing awesome.
This
So.
is just completely different from first time.
Yeah. That's so
It's a
interesting.
We're having a completely different conversation than we would have had 6 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think people are really going to like this. I mean, I'm amazed by it. To see the difference, because we hear so many people say, oh, it depends on the surgeon and it depends on,
Yeah.
the type of surgery they do. And just to have somebody who's been through both.
Yeah. I get surgeon shamed
Yeah.
all the time that, oh, well, you should have found a better surgeon. I'm like, I found an excellent surgeon. I have absolutely no problem with my surgery, but that doesn't make the recovery any less painful and any less difficult.
No, these people are highly trained experts at what they do.
Yeah.
So, or else we wouldn't be paying them to do it. So,
Right. Right.
like, there's no reason to think that maybe there are bad orthopedic surgeons out there. I don't know, but I don't think that that's as big a determinant in how your healing's going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your body.
Yeah. So I just think it's a wonderful way to, I don't know, validate, it feels kind of validating that this woman had 2 surgeries separate times by the exact same surgeon doing the exact same procedure, and they were completely different recoveries.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
And my surgeon warned me. He said what he said was, most people, the second one is harder. He said, because you slack off.
Mhm.
Because you say, yeah, I've been there, done that, and you slack off. And he said, so don't do that. I said, okay, I won't do that. And when I see him, I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks. I'm going to let him know how different this one was, and that it doesn't always, that he shouldn't probably scare patients by telling them that it's going to be harder, because it isn't always harder.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to change our taglines from everybody's recovery is different to every knee's recovery
Yeah.
is different.
Well, and
evidently.
it's true.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we've heard that from other people that, you know, have had both knees done. And even, wasn't it Nancy and Brent, the couple that we interviewed, he had bilateral, and, you know, having them done at the same time, they were different.
Yeah.
They were, you know, the recoveries were different on each one. Interesting. But now at this point now you're super glad you had them both done. You're very happy with where you are. You're definitely are, you know, seeing the life-changing things that are happening because of having it done. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm very excited about, I mean, we have a trip to Alaska planned next year. And I know that when we go to Alaska, it's going to be very different from when we went to Barcelona. And I'll be able to do 14,000
Right.
steps and me. So
Yes, you'll have more time to recover from this surgery.
I mean, I'm really excited about what life's going to be like in 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, I have plans for things to do that I haven't been able to do in years. So
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, that's one of our questions is what are you looking forward to doing now that your knee is healing?
Yeah.
Going to Alaska and walking 14,000 steps without having to go lay down.
there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is good.
There's a chance to do some like Kodiak tours. I don't know if you know what Kodiaks are. And I never could have been able to climb in and out of a Kodiak before.
Right.
Or maybe called Zodiacs. The little rafts with the motors, you know,
Yeah.
where they got to the glacier, and I never would have been able to climb in and out of one of
Right.
those things.
Right.
So, sure.
Yeah.
By any stretch of the imagination.
For sure.
So I'm looking forward to doing that now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
Well, you know, I mean, I notice little things, and sometimes that's all we can do, especially in the beginning of recovery, is to just notice the smallest little differences. But, you know, for me, getting it, I still to this day, of course, I'm only 8.5 months, but every time I get in or out of my car, I'm so glad that I can get in and out of my car easily. I can, like a normal person, you know, because I was not normal at all before surgery. So, you know.
And, you know, we travel a lot, and we've done some travel internationally. And this maybe is a little TMI. I don't know if you want to keep this in, but toilets in other countries are very, very, very low.
Mm.
And I had some real struggles in, you know, some places trying to use a toilet because the toilet is low, and I couldn't just, well, anyway.
Especially if there's no grab bars to hold on to. I came to really appreciate bathrooms with the grab bars.
Well, in 2023, we were in Italy for a few weeks, and you know, there's no Americans with Disabilities Act in parts of Europe. There's no bars on the toilets. The entire time we were there, I found one handicap accessible toilet to use.
And way too much information. I'm sure they've changed a little bit now, but I was in Japan, and there was not a place to sit on the toilets. You squatted over a thing. And can you imagine?
Many years ago, 2 knees, and 30 years ago, I was in China, and that's how it is in China too. It's 2 foot pads. You stand on the foot pad and squat and do your business.
Make sure you don't have your wallet in your
You
back
gotta
pocket.
have strong thighs. And if you don't, you're gonna get them after.
Well, I was in my 30s then, so.
Well, yeah. Back when we had muscles.
Right. We didn't even
Well, that's another
think
thing I'm
about
looking
them.
forward to, is being able to get more fit in my lower half, you know, being able to work out and strengthen my legs. And, you know, now that they're actually functioning the way God intended, you know, being able to use them the way they're supposed to be used, and working out and things like that. So.
Did you do PT before they did the surgeries?
Formal PT, no. They emailed me a list of exercises to do.
All right.
And I had done some, before I knew I was having the second one, I had done some water aerobics and things like that just to try to get my endurance up a little bit. And so I was able to do that, but they don't really prescribe PT before the surgery.
Cool. Yeah,
Interesting.
our insurance required that she do
Yeah.
so much PT.
Yeah,
before the
insurance wouldn't
surgery.
cover anything unless you do all the prehab stuff. You know,
Well-
even which now it really makes me kind of angry because I realize now just how bad the cortisone shots can be for the knee. They deteriorate the knee and can cause all sorts of problems. But our insurance, you had to have a series of cortisone shots, injections, and then you had to do, a certain amount of PT before they would cover the surgery.
Well, they had to, your surgeon had to be able to demonstrate that you had used all of the non-surgical
Yeah,
interventions,
right.
and they had to do it.
And
That's
He's showing you your X-ray, saying there is no other option. So yeah,
there were shots
Crazy.
would have been laughable. It would have made no sense. So
Did you ever have those like early in the early days of your bad knees? You never had injections?
Mm-mm.
Cool.
so if one of your friends or relatives or YouTube viewers comes to you and says, thinking about having my knee replaced, what is your advice or words of wisdom to them?
make sure you have somebody to take care of you, and by all means do it.
That's awesome.
And set your expectations nice and low for those first few weeks.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But I would definitely recommend it.
Okay.
But I've got a good result. Not everybody has a good result,
Right. Oh,
and
it's
I
true.
understand.
It's true. We're all different, and I mean, I feel like I've had a good result. I'm still just, I guess I'm just a slow healer, slow recoverer.
Mhm.
But I do believe that it'll get there. And my only thing is just that I'm still aware that I have this knee because of the tightness and stuff. So I look forward to one day not thinking about my knee. But
Right.
they say 12 to 18 months. Some are even 2
Right.
years. So we wait.
Do you get the noises, the clicks, and
I get a few little clicks here and there, and they kind of freak me out a little bit. But I have to tell myself it doesn't hurt. There's no
Right.
pain with it. There's
it's
absolutely
just
no
metal and
pain.
plastic? It's just metal and plastic.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, but I just don't like the sound. But then I feel clicks too. It's like I feel things click, and so that's. But again, I have to. Sometimes I just have to stop and ask myself, does it hurt? No. All right then, move on. So, anyways, well, Julie, we really thank you for being willing to share your story and
You're welcome.
for reaching out to us, because we know that it will help other people. We get comments all the time from viewers that are just so glad they've found this channel, because the things that people are helping them to understand about knee replacement, it just gives them the confidence and the strength to be able to make that decision for themselves. So we really appreciate that, and just know that you've helped a lot of people today by sharing your story. So we thank you for that. It was lovely to meet you, and we wish you all the best in your continuing healing.
Okay. Thank you
And-
so much.
And
Pleasure to meet you.
we want to hear all about your Alaska trip.
Right?
So you be sure and check back in and
Okay.
keep in touch and let us know how things are going.
Okay, I will do.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Can you imagine taking that overseas trip? Even now,
16 weeks?
can you sit on a plane for 10 to 12 hours while you're flying to Europe? You could.
I
You
think
gotta
I
be
could
locked.
now, because I know that I could get up and walk through the aisle
Yeah.
once in a while, so I think I probably could, but not 10 to 12. Let's say 7.
So I thought it was, as I mentioned, fascinating, the difference between having both knees done by the same surgeon, same surgery, and that she's already glad that she did them
Yeah.
after this,
4
this
weeks.
soon. Yeah.
4 weeks.
So that tells you how much better the second one was.
Oh, for sure. Well, and even like, didn't she say that last week is when she went out and sat on the patio?
Yeah.
So then she was only 3 weeks by my calculations. I mean, I love that. I love that for people that, that it can be so speedy.
Doesn't happen for everybody, but it does happen
It does.
for some. And
It absolutely does.
if you want to contrast and compare, go watch our 4-week update that she did. Because
Brace yourself.
yeah,
Because I was not Julie at 4 weeks.
you were not Julie at 4 weeks.
No. I'm not Julie. That reminds me of a song.
I think that's I'm not Lisa.
Oh, my name is Julie. Okay.
There you go.
Edit that
I
out.
get that. That's good stuff.
Anyways.
Well, so that was a great story. If you would like to tell your story, drop us an email at hello@totalkneetalk.com. We would love to hear how your total knee replacement recovery journey has been. If you are a caregiver for someone who has had that and would like to tell your story, your side of it, whether you cooked the meals or not, do the same thing. hello@totalkneetalk.com, and we will reach back out and we'll make something like this happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to share your story, share this video, because there's probably somebody that you know who either they're going to have knee replacement surgery, they had it, or they just like to hear about other people's problems. Share the video. And while you're doing that, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you know when the next one comes out. Right. And if you're going through this journey right now, and heck, even if you're not, cut yourself some slack, give yourself some grace.
And remember that this is your recovery.
Let's talk knees, titanium knees. From hurting to healing, to taking the lead. Let's talk knees. So next time someone brings up knees, don't just nod, lean in with ease. There's a saga in those joints, a battle fought, a new way to move, a lesson taught. Full range in 6 months, that's the move. Let's talk knees, yeah, knees.
I can't stop yawning.
Why are you so tired?
So many
I
times.
thought her story was fascinating.
Oh, her story was fascinating, but her and I had a connection with the no sleep thing.
Yeah,
I'm not the only one in the world that doesn't
nothing
sleep.
to do with the knee replacement.